Hello and welcome to another video. So in this demo, I'm going to talk about adding vegetation to your 3D scene in ArcGIS Pro. I've already added buildings, so if you haven't seen those videos, go back and watch those. Now when we add vegetation, there's pretty much two main types to do it. We might have a whole forest block, in which case we can add that as a polygon, or we might have data that covers individual trees. I'll show you how to add those in a moment. So for the wood block, I'm going to use some OSM data that I downloaded earlier. Let's have a look. So someone else has captured this. I'm not too fussed about how well it's been digitized. I'm just going to use it anyway. So that's covered by this layer here, natural polygon in my data. Again, your data may be different. I'm going to copy that from my 2D map into my 3D scene. Give that a second to load. So there we can see that's just currently represented as it was in the 2D map. What can I do with it? Well, first things first, I'm going to have a play with it. So once I've got all the layers in there, I can remove water because I'm not interested in that for this demo. So I'll just right click on both that and all other values and remove that. That just leaves me with vegetation. My next step is I can change the symbology. So if I click on that, I can close down. Yeah, there we go. ArcGIS 3D, I've got a forest option. So I'm going to select that one. That's going to give everything this forest effect. Once that's done, I'll come up to the type of extrusion and pick a type of extrusion. I'm going to choose base heights, but it's worth having a play with all of these to find out which one's best. And for my extrusion, I'm just going to assume all trees are 10 meters. There we go. Now we have a 3D forest effect. So the whole forest block looks like a forest. You could change the color, change any of those settings. I'll just pick 10 meters. Okay, so that's for a forest block. And what can we do for individual trees? Let's have a look. As we can see within our AOI, we've got a large number of individual trees that actually change the way the scene looks quite significantly. Let's have a look at what I mean in Google Maps. So this is the same area, Racecourse Road, and when we drag our little street view man is and have a look down the street, what we have is a tree-lined avenue. Those trees are very relevant to the whole scenery. If you want to get things looking correct, you definitely need to add the trees. So how do we do that? In this example, we're going to need a point database. So you're going to need someone who's either collected shapefiles or feature classes in point form and collected all the individual trees. Now, in an ideal world, someone's going to have collected different tree types and you might have that attribution in there. In that case, you could go further than this. However, I'm just going to use individual points. So before this demo, I've created a feature class called tree. I haven't put any attributes in it. I've just stuck a single point on top of every single tree. So in an ideal world, someone will have created this data for you. If not, you'll have to digitize it yourself. So you're really going to stick to areas that are most important. So that's just to show you that data. Here's what I'm going to do. Back in the 3D scene, we've got something on the map tab called Add Preset. These are really useful. So I'm going to click Add Preset. I've got an option for realistic trees, thematic trees, realistic buildings that will add in a multi-patch if you haven't already done one, and a few others. First, I'm going to click realistic trees and add them in. So it'll ask you to navigate to that data. And as I said, I'm adding that tree feature class, which is a point feature class. Click OK. And there we have it. We've got 3D trees. So I think that instantly improves the look of any scene and makes it far better. Even with these shoddy buildings, having trees in really does improve it. On the right hand side, you've got the drop down for the symbology, so you can change it by type if you know the type, or pick one that's most relevant for your area. The height will be from the type, so different types of tree will have their own heights pre-programmed in. And that is the preset. The other preset you can add is thematic trees. Let's have a look at what that looks like. There we go. So here the trees look less realistic, but still useful if you want to represent. Okay, thanks for listening for that demo. That covers vegetation in both woodblocks and preset trees. Stay tuned for the next demo. Thank you for listening.